Consider for a moment the human skeleton. Without it, we'd be a massive, lifeless blob of squishy organs and tissue. The structure of our bones are our foundation, like 2x4s of the body that give us strength and power to move and take action. We'd be nothing without the support of our skeleton. It's what holds us up and keeps us moving forward. When you have a full life, full of responsibilities, family, horses, relationships, and more, you'll no doubt go through times when your head is spinning and you feel more like a zombie than a high-functioning human being and barrel racing athlete. When we create structural support systems for our life and goals, they keep us focused and holds our thoughts and actions together. A lot like our skeleton, support systems give us strength, allowing us to cruise through life with more ease and much less struggle. I know that my life will always be full, and while I continue to do my best to simplify and focus on what's most important, the truth is that the life of any professional barrel racer will always be what I refer to not as crazy busy, but let's just call it abundant. We can't rely on our brain alone to be in the moment and really feel for our horses, while also keeping the big picture in mind and remembering what groceries we need to pick up. We really need to be able to see the forest and the trees. That's what systems help us do. Keep us together when we can't do it alone. Systems are simply the plans, reminders, goals, lists, habits, rituals, practices, and more that keep us on track. Without these systems, our dreams are just wishes, and we risk losing sight of what's most important to us. The seemingly urgent things that come up often end up overtaking what's important, and as long as that keeps happening, we'll never really get to where we want to be. While developing these systems may take an initial investment of time to create, the goal is for them to support you in ways that make life easier, to ensure that you don't get distracted from your desires, neglect your relationships, or fall off track in any way, in or out of the arena. In a previous New Year's post, I mentioned brainstorming specifically about what you want to do, be, and have to gain clarity, as well as specifying the learning and action steps that must take place and the tools you need to reach your goals. Today, I'll share yet another way that I plan for success by compartmentalizing my life and creating systems that continually remind me to focus and spend time in each area, ensuring that I don't get out of balance. They are personal and relationships, business, career, and financial, horsemanship and barrel racing, and then household maintenance and tasks. What I'm going to do for the remainder of this video is not puppeteer you through exactly what you need to do or what kind of systems you need to put in place, because only you can know that. Instead, I'll be showing you and taking you through actual examples of what these systems look like in our world to give you ideas and inspiration for how you can implement similar systems based on your own personal needs. Now, keep in mind that organization and planning is a strength of mine, but even for those who don't necessarily seek out or particularly enjoy the process of creating these systems, remember that having them in place is probably even more important if that is the case for you. So join me now as we embark on a simulated tour of a day in the life of Heather Smith. You might have recalled that I believe that the beginning of every run sets the entire rest of the run up for success. Well, the same is true for how we start every single day. So it really sets the rest of our day up for success, and multiple good days set our years and our life up for success. So because of this, I'm very particular about not only how I start my barrel racing runs, how I start my individual rides with my horses, but how I start my day from the very beginning. This means that I do not go to my phone or my computer first thing, but I start out with some positive, inspirational reading. So right now I'm reading The Confident Woman devotional from Joyce Meyer, and I actually just read one page one day of this every morning, very first thing when I get up. Every morning as I'm getting ready, I love to listen to positive, encouraging, uplifting music. So I play K-Love on my phone, And then I light a candle in the bathroom while I'm getting ready. It's just a beautiful, peaceful, sort of positive and uplifting, another way to really set that tone for my day. After I've had breakfast in the morning, I sit down and do even more reading. Now, that initial reading that I did when I got up is actually very quick. It's just like a couple paragraphs. But now is when I dive into a minimum of a half an hour of personal development type of reading. Again, I always choose books that really helped me to learn and grow and better myself as an individual. They might be based on marriage and relationships or business, financial. It's just part of a regular routine that I have that helps me stay positive and learning and growing as a person. When I'm actually home, my objective is to spend my mornings with the horses when it's the coolest out and my afternoons in the office. So let's go. Just like it's really important to start my day on a positive note, I'm really particular about how I start every single ride I have with my horses. So ideally it's nice to just spend a few minutes connecting with them, maybe scratching their itchy spots. It's just one of those little things that if you take the time to do, it can just make a really big difference in their attitude towards you and how the rest of your ride goes. So one of the things I wanted to point out and show you was my big at a glance yearly planner, my yearly calendar up above here. This is a very, very critical part to planning my year, and it really makes sure that I stay focused on the big picture and that I'm constantly reminded of how much time I have and how many weeks to prepare for the events, for the travels, for everything that I have coming up. And it makes scheduling anything really simple because I never end up overcommitting myself. I can always just at a quick glance look and see what my schedule looks like. So that's super, super valuable for me. This is the other end of my office, and this corner is what I refer to as my video viewing lounge. And like I have said, my husband and I not only dedicate ourselves to doing with the horses, but also learning. And now it's really easy when you have too much on your plate or lots of horses that need attention and care and need to be ridden and started, that you end up neglecting the actual resources that really and truly help you learn and grow and progress as a horseman. And so we actually utilize DVDs for that. And so I have a complete resource library up here in my office, and studying is part of how we grow as horsemen. And so that might mean resources like books and so forth, but like I said, it also means DVDs, and that's what this little section of my office is primarily for. Welcome to my kitchen. Now I have to admit I don't spend a whole lot of time in here, but because the kitchen is just really a hub in a home and it's centrally located and it's a place most of us do check in several times a day, it's a super, super valuable place to actually be posting these lists and these systems that you've put in place and put in writing so that you're reminded by them and they're in your face every time you look in the refrigerator, for example. One thing that makes eating healthy a lot easier for my husband is that we actually right now is Sunday, what we call Preparation Sunday. So we're thawing some meat and he'll actually prepare a bunch of it on the grill, and then we'll use that throughout the coming week for our meals, especially in the evening, so that we can prepare a healthy meal really quickly and then get out to spend time with the horses. Here we also have what we developed. It's called Craig and Heather's Live the Dream Plan. And so this is actually a plan that goes several years in advance, all the way through 2017. And it actually it explains our financial goals and our goals for rodeoing and how they all tie together. And so this is something too that just being in this central location, it kind of keeps it in the forefront. It kind of reminds and guides like every decision that we make every day. What I do is both really mentally intensive and also physically demanding. And so I actually have to go out of my way to schedule time for me to relax and replenish for myself as an individual. And so my goal every week, once a week, is to take a bath with more good reading material, Barrel Horse News. So this is something that wouldn't be likely to happen at all if it wasn't scheduled. Some people might ask, Heather, how do you have time for all of this? You know, and here's the real true answer to that. My husband and I don't have any more time in our days than anybody else does. He gets up, we both get up at 4:30 a.m. It's really not a matter of how much time we have, it's a matter of what you prioritize and what's important to you. I wanted to get Craig's viewpoint on all these crazy systems. Craig, tell me how you initially felt about the idea of doing so much organizing and planning for how you spent your time.
Well, previous to this, I didn't really plan much. Seems like I was kind of scattered and inefficient. And it's really changed my life, and it gives me a lot of focus on the right areas, and I know that I don't miss anything. I'm always doing whatever I need to do to not only be a good husband, but also to also follow my dreams.
So you think these systems are valuable and that they're effective?
Oh, definitely. I wish I'd had done them a long time ago. It accomplished some great things in my life and stuff, but these things here I think will even make more possibilities for me.
Will we be seeing more of you in .com in the future?
Oh, absolutely. He brings a smile to my face every time I see him. We've accomplished some really great things in a very, very short time I've had him. And we really broke through to some new levels, and I'm really excited to show you guys what we've done and where we're headed.
So there you have it. Thanks for going on a tour of my home, barn, and all the systems that keep my world going around. It's important to create ones that are realistic, put in writing, and prominently placed so they are very visual. So no matter what happens, they are always in your face, reminding you and never letting you lose track of your goals. Keep in mind that no matter what kind of system you have, it's not going to help you if you just have too much on your plate. In fact, creating systems and not being able to even come close to following through with them will not set you up for success. Most likely, if this is the case, you'll need to pare down and pare down and pare down to release things that just aren't that important. Also, perfect life balance is a myth. Remember that it's not realistic to follow a perfect schedule every day, and life wouldn't be much fun either. And sometimes there's a plan in store for us that's even greater than we could have made for ourselves. So while we must be disciplined, we must also be flexible and open to changing course. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and that developing and following systems becomes something that you utilize and feel good about, and that it will help transform any existing cycles of frustration into cycles of success. I feel it was good. Do you want me to ask you again?
No, because I don't know what I'd say.
Okay. Thanks for sharing, Craig. We really appreciate your input. And thanks for all your help in filming this project.
You're welcome.
I love you.